Hey guys, what's up? Pimar3 here, and welcome back to Let's Play Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. In the last episode, we got the fourth bottle in the game, the fourth and final one, and we also tackled the Spirit Temple, or at least part of it, as a kid, and we got the Silver Gauntlets, which will enable us to progress in the adult side. We also met Noburu, who apparently, while it seemed to be second in command previously, it seems that she is planning to try to overthrow Ganondorf. However, she was captured after we obtained the Silver Gauntlets. So now that we're back as an adult, hopefully we can figure out what's actually going on. So right here, the Silver Gauntlets will automatically equip. They take the place, in whenever you're an adult, of the Goron's bracelet that we got way back near the start of the game. So they will automatically equip, and you can actually also see them. Like if I play my Ocarina, you can see them very clearly right here. So I've already switched back into being an adult. Let's head right on in. And I also went to the fairy fountain that was in this area, not really to heal so much as it was to get all my magic back, just in case I needed it for, like, Din's Fire or Fire Arrows, something of that nature. So, let's go ahead and start on the adult part of this by pushing this block until it falls into the hole. Come on. There we go. And now we can actually start the adult segment of this dungeon. This is what I was looking at earlier. Well, not this giant Beamos. Let's go ahead and get rid of it, though. Since this is a big one, it's going to take 2 bombs to kill, but that's okay. I was looking for that switch earlier when we were in the child segment in the last video. That's why I was like, oh, I guess that must be in another spot, because it is in another spot. So by hitting that switch, like last time, you'll open up both doors. There's a locked door right here, so we obviously can't progress there. Right here we have a Wolfos. We'll take care of this really quickly. Alright, there's that. Quite on that Triforce symbol. There we go. We already know long by now that once you see a Triforce symbol, you should obviously play the Zelda's Lullaby melody that we've learned way back in like episode 3 probably. And that will summon a treasure chest that we can long shot to. Maybe. There we go. And this will either contain the dungeon map or compass. We didn't find either one of them as a kid, so it could be either, but I'm going to bet the map. Ah, it was the compass. It was the compass. What is that? Let's go and hook shot onto this, just so I don't have to jump down there and climb up the wall. See, some stuff that you can climb, you actually can use the long shot on. It's hard to tell which one works for which, but that is the case. Okay, let's see if I can get this without the hover boots. There we go. You have to do a jump attack, but you can in fact do that. So right here we have a not huge puzzle. It's another Silver Rupee puzzle. The camera likes having a seizure in this area, so fair warning about that. We're just picking up all the Silver Rupees here. There is a Gold Skulltula in this one over here that's got the Song of Time blocking the way. Let's go ahead and grab these first. That will open up the door, obviously. Get right up next to this and play the Song of Time. This might move it over to another column, and that's why I picked up the Silver Rupees, or the Switch Rupees, whatever you want to call them, before going here. Yeah, see, it blocked that one right here. You can see a nasty view of a Skulltula from the underbelly of the Skulltula. Get out of here. It had like a weird little tune to it. Very different from what we're used to hearing, but okay. Be careful in here, because that like is going to drop from the ceiling. So let's just use a couple quick spins and take care of that, no problem. And I believe this is a key. Yes, it is. He's going to drop some rupees, I guess. Yeah, sure enough. Not that I really care, but I'll grab them anyway. And now that we're back in the main room, we have the key, so we can progress onward. Should be another, yeah, like in here. I'm not sure if that pot's gonna come flying at me or not, so I don't want to just go around it. And there it comes. Dropped a rupee because I was full on hearts. Are there any Skulltulas? No, there are not. Okay, so I don't have to worry about this. See what I mean about that being much better than climbing that entire thing, though? Like, that'd be a pain in the butt. I'm not gonna do that. Here we have another invisible floor master. Like the one in the Shadow Temple, we must kill the children. There's one more. There you are. Killing this thing will not actually, you know, like, give you a reward, but then you don't have to worry about it, so that's the real prize. So obviously right here we're using this mirror to deflect the sun to different sun statues, and not all of these will drop things that you want. These first two will drop treasure chests. One of them has a recovery heart. The second, the first one I believe is the recovery heart. The second one has a trap in it. If you open it, it's actually going to freeze you. And if you put the sun on this fourth thing, it's actually going to spawn a wall master that you'll have to either defeat or avoid. So I would not recommend doing that. Yeah, I had a feeling you were fake. Can't pull a fast one on me. So that should be locked. Yes, it is. Okay. Okay. I don't remember how to get over to that switch. I don't even think that switch is required, actually. I don't think I need the hover boots for this, but I'm not going to risk it. And since everybody playing along should have these, you could probably just do a rolling jump for it, to be perfectly honest. I was expecting to see Navi turn green on up there, indicating that might have been a Scarecrow song platform, but I guess not. Let's stand here and play Zelda's Lullaby. You can see a hookshot target right there. Now that we're down here, it's a little bit easier to see. This is going to drop the map. I'm about 90% certain of that. It's either the map or the key. No, this is the key. The map should be from lighting all the torches. This is kind of hard to aim at, so pretty much just move around until you see the little light appear. And then once you do, you'll aim. It's really hard to see, though. There we go. Just barely missed it, but that's how you latch onto the key. It is kind of a hard shot to make, but since you need it, you might as well try to figure it out as best you can. So let's jump down here. I'm going to use Din's Fire to burn these. I'm assuming it's just going to drop the map, but you never know. This is not a very key-heavy dungeon, in case you couldn't tell. There was one as a kid and one as an adult thus far. And when I say key-heavy, I'm not referring to the boss key, because that's in all adult temples, so unsurprisingly, this will be the map. Kind of weird that they give you the map before the map after the compass, but it's not that big a deal. Really, they're only good together. The map can be okay by itself, but the compass would be essentially useless. I mean, you could tell there was treasure in the room, but you couldn't tell if that was the one you needed, like a key, or if it was just rupee amounts or whatever it could be. But obviously they do best work together. There's no token up there. I'm just going to ignore that Beamos because I really don't care about him. There's no point in fighting him in here. This one, however, I will fight because I believe you have to kill all the enemies, or if not, it would be recommended that you do. Why didn't I pull out a bomb? Thank you. Probably because I was putting something away. There we go. Hey! I don't want to waste... Yeah, that one uses up more magic power. I'll just use the fire arrow. I couldn't do this as a kid because you can't use arrows, but now I would gladly do that. Oh, there's another one. No, there's a couple in here, actually. Alright, first you. Where'd that other one? Yeah, here you are. Hiding back there. Upon killing all of them, that will unlock the door over there, which I believe you have to go to that one first. I'm gonna find out when I get in here. Do you actually? I think you do. So what you need to do here is activate one of these statues. Ah, it almost worked. And you have to get it to stand on the switch just long enough to run over the door and make it there. There we go. Got it. Skulltula. I think it was just that one. I wouldn't expect to see another one in here. Not like that, anyway. And I'm not sure if that's actually how you're supposed to do that puzzle. That's the way I've always done it. If anybody actually knows a different way and an easier way to do that puzzle, please, by all means, let me know in the comments. It's been worked a little bit better there. I'm going to grab some of these hearts, though. He kind of did a pretty good number on me. Of course, I can't see half of him because he's in the way. Oh yeah, he should be easy pickings now. I could just quick spin and he'd never be able to get near me anymore. See ya. Obviously, as an adult, that would go by much faster, and had I used the big Goron sword, because you'll notice I switched back, then it would have gone even faster than that. I would recommend avoiding your big Goron sword. If not, get used to switching between the two, and you'll see why whenever we get this dungeon item and I start using it. In case you haven't figured it out from me spoiling it multiple times, it's the last shield in the game, the Mirror Shield. The shield's polished surface can reflect light or energy. Press R to use it. I really do like the Mirror Shield. I wish it had been used more in this game. In Wind Waker, it's used a little bit more, but I feel like in Wind Waker it was a little bit more clunky when you had to aim using the light. But maybe that's because I always hated the Earth and Wind temples, so I might just be biased towards it. I do like the red shield, though. I like the fact that it looks red. The Mirror Shield in Wind Waker is like blue and silver. This one's red and silver. I like the red and silver feel more to it. So, in order to use it, what you'll need to do is pull out your sword, and then you'll see that the light moves around, and then use R to shield, and then aim using your directionals. Just remember that up is down and down is up. These two are inverted. Left and right are the same, so fair warning about that. The reason I say to avoid your big Goron sword, though, is because if you use the big Goron sword, then, well, here, I'll just show you in a second. I want to get out of this room, though, because I think there might be a like if you wait in there too long. If you use the big Goron sword, because you can't have the shield out at the same time, whenever you use R, you're just going to duck with it. And you'll do, like, you know, the little stab and whatnot, and that's all well and good, but you can't really aim the light anywhere, so that's why I would say stick with the Master Sword in this temple. Against the boss, it will obviously get rid of them faster, but you have to use the Mirror Shield in the boss fight as well, so, I mean, it's kind of up to you if you want to switch back and forth in your menu for them or not. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of both the Beamos in here because I don't like them. Did that other one drop bombs? No, it did not. That jerk. Alright, fine. I see how it is. Well, let's go ahead and pull out the long shot again. There's a Skulltula on one of these platforms, so if you want to kill him and go from here and navigate this, you can. However, I would recommend skipping the whole thing. I've never actually done that puzzle. The first time I saw it, I'm like, I wonder if you can just long shot this and completely ignore this puzzle. And yeah, sure enough, you can. So don't waste your time on it. I would advise skipping that puzzle. Because that's not even a glitch or anything. I mean, that's flat out just like, hey, by the way, you can skip this if you want. I'm trying to remember which room goes where here. Whoa, hello. Oh, this must be the boss key. I think this is the boss key. I'm not 100% certain. I feel like this room will have the boss key, and it's going to have a lot of fake doors, if I remember correctly. We're about to find out. Yes, this is the room I was thinking of. I thought this was in Ganon's tower, but no, it isn't here. Of course, the boss key in Ganon's tower is, like, right in front of you. Like, you'd have to be blind to miss it, so... Start by taking out all the fire slugs here. One of these doors will have an ice switch behind it. I believe it's either this one or this one. There's that one. Cool. It's nice to know I still remember little things like that. By doing that, you're not going to put out the fire, but what you will do is create a second little ice block platform up here. You can long shot this, and then jump over. Otherwise, you just fall straight down. That will get rid of the fire. Now we have our boss key. So, dungeon item, boss key, map, and compass, we're pretty much set to take on the boss. All we gotta do is get there. So, back out we go. And now we'll head up this way. This is a fairly straightforward room. Go ahead and quick spin around here in order to open up the door. Or you can just do a regular spin attack. I'm used to quick spinning, but if it's kind of awkward for somebody to do, yeah, you can just use the spin attack. I was expecting a wall master, not you. Okay, now you're just like going in all random directions, Link. I don't actually know what that sun switch does. This one up here. Let's see if I can get it. Well, not like that, you're not gonna get it. Can you get it? Treasure chest. This is probably gonna kill or freeze me, not kill me. But I'm curious. No, bombs. Okay, I never actually knew that sun thing was there. Never noticed it until now. That's why I was curious about it. So just go ahead and get rid of these floating skull things. They're not really gonna get in the way, but you know. They're not York, therefore they're not the best skull around. Get rid of this very obvious fake wall here. And push the first one, which has the light, onto the second mirror. Once that's done, we have another Lasalfos in here, I'm pretty sure. Yep. You can just button spam against these things nowadays. As a kid, you had to use strategy when you had like 3 or 4 hearts. Now, no. And then push that one to there. And now we've got the light where we need it to be. Makes the light puzzles in Wind Waker look much, much more difficult, of course, because that one was pretty simple. Thank you for the heart. Thank you for some magic. Apparently those pots just like flew into the nether world. That one dropped a heart. Okay, cool. I was just gonna try to get my hearts as full as I could, even though this boss fight's not terribly difficult. Light up the sun plate there. And we head down here, and we are almost at the boss. We have one final little thing to do here. Use the sun to erode this face. I didn't know the sun could make something erode that quickly, but, you know, whatever. And then go ahead and just long shot onto this. It'll open up by itself. And it's boss time, baby. Or is it? That's right, you actually have a mini-boss before fighting this boss. This here is not the boss. You think by the boss door that it would be, but no, there's a mini-boss fight first. Oh yes, I'm so terrified of you, Astaroth. Guess he's more of a berserker, but whatever. So yeah, once again, another Iron Knuckle. Something strange, this is not an ordinary enemy. No, it is not. Ouch. Yeah, see what I mean? I was at full health, that was 4 hearts of damage, so yeah, it's pretty bad. That did not work as planned. The bombs damage this thing. Well, dude, you shouldn't have just stood there. Okay, seriously, you gotta stop acting like a dumbass here. You're actually gonna get yourself killed. You don't have any fairies, dude. I hate to spam it, but I really don't want to get killed in this playthrough, and I'm acting like an idiot in this fight when I should be playing strategic. I'm not, so... to avoid the potential death that would be brought upon me, which would have been right there. Hack and slash, run and spam. Oh right, you can't use the magic part of the quick spin whenever you've got Narrow's Love on. I forgot about that. This is totally not how you're supposed to do this fight, but I really don't care. It's like the other Iron Knuckle you fought, it's just, it's got more health, that's the only difference, and it never takes stun, because once you beat the first round of it, quote-unquote, then the fight's over. Of course, it was Naburu, and she's been brainwashed over the last 7 years. Neighbor's Love's still going on in the cutscene, that's nice. I can hear it wearing off, too. She looks exactly the same as she did 7 years ago. Apparently brainwashing does not change your physical body. And then they kill her. The end. No, not really. So, with that mini-boss taken care of, let's go ahead and fight Konume and Kotate for real. I'm probably going to use Nera's Love in this fight too, because I really don't want to die. Yet another reason why I wouldn't go Poe hunting, because I forgot to get fairies before doing this. Luckily, you can use Nera's Love like 4 times if you've got the double magic and you're not using it on anything else, which you won't be. Fire arrows will not help you in this fight at all. You're not using arrows. Look at that stupid kid. He came on his own to offer himself as a sacrifice to the great Ganondorf. Whatever you want to tell yourself, man. Whatever you want to tell yourself. With my flame, I will burn him to the bone. I highly doubt that. I used to mow lawns all the time whenever I was a teenager in 110-degree heat wearing sweatpants and a long-sleeve shirt. I highly doubt you could. As for the ice, yeah, I would be kind of worried about that. I hate it whenever it gets, like, under 60 degrees. Keep in mind I live in Texas, so I can make that excuse. Like, this February was awful. Not a fan of ice or snow, whatever. I make exceptions, but most of the time I'm like, no, I'm done. And apparently that was all counting in the cutscene, so I'm actually going to re-equip this. Like I said, I really don't want to die in this fight. So the idea here, and this does not work as well as it should, unfortunately. The idea here is to figure out which of the sisters is going to fire an attack on you. Generally speaking, it's probably going to alternate. And then you want to target the other sister, the one that's not firing, because they're obviously weak to each other. Fire is weak to ice, ice is weak to fire. It's really weird, and sometimes it doesn't work, and sometimes the other sister will not come on screen until, you know, it's too late. So it's really strange. But the idea is whichever one's firing a spell, target the other one, and hold out your shield, and hopefully, you know, whatever magic gets charged at you will be redirected onto the other sister. But yeah, it doesn't always work. If it doesn't work the first time, then don't be surprised. It is kind of clunky. And believe it or not, the double dynamic attack in the second form is actually much easier than the first, or at least it is for me. Also, she's really creepy. She will float to one of the 4 corners and launch one of 2 spells at you, either ice or fire. You are going to absorb that energy. This is the only time in the game you can do this. You'll absorb that energy into your shield, and you have to absorb the energy 3 times. The catch is, it has to be the same energy for those 3 hits. So it has to be ice 3 times or fire 3 times. It doesn't matter which, but you have to make sure that it's ice or fire 3 times. Make sure you keep holding that out, and then once you actually have fired the spell back at her, you have to be a little bit close for it. Then you can run in and slash away. This might be a spot where you can equip your big Goron sword. Just keep in mind that in doing this, that you're not going to be able to use your shield until you switch back. So once she switches back into, you know, using, or once she's out of the damage part of it, then switch back to the Master Sword and, you know, pull the sword back out. So you have the ability to use your shield again. Because you do need your shield in this fight. You do need the mirror shield. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to defeat her. Now, despite the fact it looks like she will just, you know, alternate between 3 and 3, she doesn't always. She might actually throw the wrong spell at you. Should she throw the wrong spell at you, make sure you get out of the way of it. You don't want your shield to hit it, and you certainly don't want to get hit by it yourself. So avoid that as much as you can. Switch back to Goron. And there you go. In 2 rounds, she's defeated. Master Sword, it would probably take 3 or 4, but not incredibly difficult. The trick is, though, is if one of her spells in either of those phases hits the ground, it is going to, like, make a little bit of a widespread damage, whether it's fire or ice. The ice will actually freeze you, and you'll have to get out of it, and you'll take damage while you're frozen. The fire will set you on fire, and you'll take damage while you're on fire. So now, sit back and enjoy this lovely argument between sisters. I'll come back. You mean we'll come back to haunt you? Well, whatever. Our container's on the side opposite of the blue light that always sends us back out. Let's grab that and take ourselves up to 19 hearts. We have 1 heart piece left in the game, and we are about ready to collect it. We're pretty close to 50. Yeah, 47. So I can show off the glitch twice, and then collect the token proper, and we'll be at 50. I'll be doing that in the next episode, however, and there is one more thing I want to do before we actually head to Ganon's castle. However, once the last medallion's collected here, we'll be seeing another cutscene, so sorry if the video runs a little bit long. It's going to be cutscenes for a second here, since this is the last sage. Unsurprisingly, as you might have guessed, it is the only person we've really come into any contact with in the desert area, minus the person that let us walk around the fortress. It is Nabooru. I was a competent swordsman when I was a kid, too. It's just I wasn't really a man. He's like 10 or 11, so... And yeah, she mentions that she was brainwashed. Yeah, you're not the only person that thought being a sage was funny. Darunia thought the same thing. He thought it didn't make any sense either. I always find it funny, like... And it always seems like, you know, Soraya's striving for the peace of Hyrule and for her own area. Same thing with Darunia, same thing with Ruto, same thing with Impa, but really it seems like Nabooru's more out for revenge against Ganondorf and his followers than anything else. Like, she doesn't really care about saving Hyrule, she just wants to screw Ganondorf over by destroying him. Either way, if only I knew you would become such a handsome man. Yeah, sorry, there's, like, multiple issues with that ship, but... Keep in mind, we don't only have Nabooru that has an interest in us. We have Malon, we have Sari, we have Zelda, we have Ruto, and most of all, we have Darunia with his bromance. So in collecting all the tokens, Haru comes and talks to you again. All the 6 sages have been awakened. It's time for the final showdown with the King of Evil. Before that, though, you should go ahead and meet the one who is waiting for you. The one who is waiting for you at the Temple of Time. Now, I'll probably end up recording another video, because keep in mind, if I saved and quit right now, I would actually spawn back to the Temple of Time, and that would activate a cutscene, so I might go ahead and record one more video. And I might go ahead while I'm on spring break now, because it's the 16th, and this is my week of no classes. I may go ahead and just, Bird! I may go ahead and just record the rest of Ocarina and just go ahead and do it now. So, thank you guys for watching. This has been Pitmarthroy with the Spirit Temple in Let's Play Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And I will see you guys next time for essentially just clearing up the final things in the game that we can do before heading into Ganon's Tower. See you then.